Recently opened a consulate general in Lubumbashi in the DRC, which is expected to improve relations between the two countries. In studio, I'm joined by a former ambassador and the executive director in the Ministry of International Relations and Corporations, Nanda. Good evening, sir, and thank you so much for joining us.
Good evening.
How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing very good.
All right. First things first, Namibia already has an embassy in Kinshasa, DRC. What prompted the opening of a consulate general in Lubumbashi?
The DRC is quite a big country, and it has a big population. And over the years, we have seen what we can benefit from the DRC. As you know, we have what is called the Walvis Bay Corridor Group, which has been working through the Lubumbashi and Dollar Corridor. And so we have been exporting a lot of our goods to the DRC through this corridor, passing Zambia. And of course, Lubumbashi is closer to Zambia, whereas the capital, Kinshasa, is quite far. And so in order to have this interaction with the business people who need their goods here, and also extending it to people who might need visas, we needed to open a consulate in Lubumbashi, and this is what we have done.
Apart from import and export, how will the consulate improve trade volumes and bilateral relations with Namibia?
As I indicated, it has been very difficult for us to make a connection via Zambia without having an office in Lubumbashi. And so this office is going to facilitate trade between the two countries. As you know, we are in the negotiations with the DRC government to also offer them a dry port at Walvis Bay. And so this is going to facilitate our trade and also people-to-people contact, because at least apart from going to Kinshasa, which is very far, they now can just go through Zambia, and then they are within our Trans-Kalahari corridor, and we can make business and people can meet. As well as, of course, as I indicated, facilitation of visas to people who want to come to Namibia. Instead of going to Kinshasa, which is very far, our office will now be facilitating for that.
All right. Now, in countries where they have the case of they already have an embassy and a consulate general, how are the activities, especially when it comes to doing business? How are they coordinated?
You know, we have, for example, in Angola, we have two consulates, in Menonge and in Onjiva. And now, Luanda is very far. And so coordination is made in such a way that people who are closer to the border of Menonge, people who are closer to the eastern part of the country, talking about the Zambezi region, the two Kavango regions, are facilitated through Menonge. And of course, we have Angwena region, which is now closer to Onjiva. And so it has made it very much easier for us to facilitate and assist people living along the borders to, instead of going to Angola, to Luanda in reverse, they just go down south and get assisted, and then proceed to Namibia to do business, visit families, etc.
All right. Are there perhaps any future openings of consulates, consulate generals anywhere else?
You know, the ministry is run on a foreign currency. And as you know, with the world economic crisis, the war in Ukraine, we are heavily affected by the exchange rate. As you know, today the exchange rate to buy the dollar is probably now closer to 20 Namibian dollars for just $1. And so it's very difficult. But if we get money, we will consider, because relations with countries are so intertwined now that we need people-to-people contact, and you can only have people-to-people contact if you facilitate that connection through opening offices that are making it very, very easy for people to not struggle having documents, having information about the country, having information about the trade facilities that they can get in different countries. And so it will depend really on the economy going forward, but we do want to open more offices going forward.
All right, Mr. Nanda, thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you very much.
All right. Nanda, who is the Executive Director in the Ministry of International Relations and Cooperation, joining us this evening, talking to us there about the recently opened Consulate General in Lubumbashi. In other